Hi, old beaver, away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Critscast. We have a battle of the titans for you here tonight as two former champions of UGC go head-to-head in the upper bracket final of Season 26. The winner will take a place and a higher seed into the grand final next week. In one corner, we have Feila eSports, currently top of TF2 Premiership, having been runners-up the past 3 seasons, and most recently runners-up of UGC, and more recently than their opponents, champions of UGC Platinum. Up against them, their opponents are SDCK, who are, of course, former Premiership champions themselves in TF2 and UGC Platinum champions back in the day. They've come back for an attempt to getting another title here, and they're not having a great season so far in TF2, lingering around in the middle of the table. So, you know, from the get-go, Feila eSports may be the favourites here. I am CeeJaey, and I'm joined by none other than Buck and Wiethoofd on the production. Buck, this is going to be kind of the biggest the biggest match in European Highlander at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, and hello everyone. Yes, another day of Highlander action here in UGC. As you said, with some pretty experienced teams going on right now, with likes of Feila and SDCK. But yeah, going to be going into this semi-final for the upper bracket. Looking forward to this game. I mean, it's going to be pretty close, I feel, especially with the map choices coming out. Got very experienced players and likes of both teams. So yeah, looking forward to it.
I mean, like, coming into the season, regardless, you always look at the familiar faces, don't you? And Feila having been sort of, I think they finished in the top 3 for the past 4 or 5 seasons now in UGC. They were champions 2 seasons on the trot, and they were runners up last time around to it was wheelchair, if I remember correctly. So I mean, they've had that kind of experience. You've got to look to them again as being one of the favourites, and of course SDCK coming back, returning with really kind of top players here who've played at the highest level before as well. So you see all these familiar faces. You expect these guys to get there or thereabouts. And coming into the season, after the regular games, they were the first and second team. And of course now they are actually facing each other in the upper bracket final. But do you think, I mean, being UGC, we may see some changes on players. A couple of spy changes I'll have to tell you guys about later. But do you think these guys are going to be kind of, I don't know, how kind of close, how kind of tense are they going to be in this game, considering they also have to play each other in TF2 on Thursday. So in 4 days' time, they play each other again.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely will be close. I mean, the thing you have to remember about these two teams is the fact that because they're so well renowned at this point, and the players kind of just are used to playing against each other. It's not even a case of individual Highlander game sense at this point. It's actually just knowing exactly what each of the teams are going to be doing, knowing their strategies and knowing who they're going to be playing around. I mean, on the likes of Feila, you got the power combos, you like to say, of Joe and Layla. So, they're going to be playing around their demo quite a lot there. And then on the likes of SDCK, it's just it's going to be awkward actually, because I mean, I mentioned about the supply chains. I think Mezzo actually playing for SDCK this time around rather than Feila, as he's used to on TF2, but they're going to be playing around possibly their flank a bit more. I mean, I know Jackie Legs does some pretty insane bombs, and I think going to have some interesting combo plays and calls coming out. I mean, across these maps as well, on Koth, I think Feila are probably more used to Koth playstyle, with Joe holding W and middle bombing in and that sort of thing. So I'll have to wait and see really if SDCK kind of have their strats locked down against Feila, because at the moment they seem to be doing really well in TF2, and they'll probably try and carry this momentum forward today.
Absolutely. I mean, actually, considering, the TF2 season's been going on for the past month, in this league, in UGC, Super Dickmanns actually are the top seeds. They won all of their games, and they beat Feila in the game that they played against each other in the regular season. I'm going to take a look quickly at the rosters here. Start off with Feila eSports here in the blue. And on Scout, they're going to have Crayon, who's tagged up as Smiley Face. Not sure if that's going to show up on the stream or not, but Crayon on Scout. Middle is on a Soldier, V-Clocks on Pyro, Joe on Demo, Poker on Heavy. We have Lilypad, aka Spamfest on Engineer. Layla is on Medic. Ollie is going to be murking for them on Sniper, with Porky or Proky apparently missing tonight. And Mello is going to be on the Spy class, as Mezzo, the normal Spy, is actually rostered for SDCK in UGC. So slight change, but Agi did play for them last season in ETF2L, reaching the grand final. So plenty of experience there. But moving over to the SDCK roster, and we have, again, some slight changes to the side. On Scout, we have Credu, who has started playing for them over the past couple of weeks, having been missing at the start of the season. Soldier is Jackie Legs, a mainstay and former champion with both Strong Opinions and SDCK for many seasons. On Pyro, I'm not sure who's going to be. I knew that Ascendary was going to be playing a game. I'm not sure whether he was going to be playing him or going to be Yahoo. So it's either going to be Yahoo or Ascendary. So, but depending on who's available, I guess. But Demo is definitely going to be Elacore. Of course, many of you may have seen him playing sixes for the likes of Top 5 and Scent. On Heavy is going to be Sandburn, sorry. Engineer is Clark, Medic is Sprayer, Sniper is going to be Cazador, whatever you want to call him. Interestingly, he was starting the season rostered on Tourette's Fetch Club for the start of the ETF2L season, then left them after a couple of poor results at the start of the season, joined Feila eSports, I assume as a backup, but within the past week has actually joined SDCK, presumably to replace Burn as main sniper for the remainder of the season. Not sure whether that was Burn getting cut, Burn leaving the team, or being unavailable, who knows? But it does seem that Kaza is now the main Spy for the side. And of course, Mezzo on Spy, like we said earlier, is the main Spy for Feila in ETF2L, but has been playing for SDCK and UGC this season. So a bit of kind of sharing going on here, Buck. But you were talking about kind of Feila being the more informed team, despite being the lower seeded side in this particular game. Who do you think is going to be making the difference for SDCK if they're going to end up winning this? You talked about the flank making plays for Feila. Who needs to step up for SDCK to win?
Honestly, you're saying about Kaza, I think Kaza getting thrown around a bit between the teams, I think that's honestly proof that, people actually trust him to play sniper and he's really consistent. I think he's proven to be really consistent. I've seen him, back in UGC when I was in gold, and I was like, I don't know why this guy is in the team he was in at the time in gold, because he absolutely carries, and, he's got to the stage he's at right now. So, honestly, I think Kaza, if they play around him on sniper, will do a lot more work, because previously watching Burn play against Stinghan wasn't very nice to see, honestly, because as previously as good as he has been, not to take away from that fact, but I think he might have just been slightly rusty, maybe, is I think the casters who were casting that mentioned. So I don't know. I'll look forward to seeing what Kaza can bring here, and it'd be interesting to see what Mezzo could do as well. Actually, actually playing against his own team, sort of. So maybe he can kind of predict what they're going to do. Maybe kind of abuse that. But that's my kind of SDCK opinion there.
That's interesting you say that, because talking about this map, we are playing Coal Plant here, which oh wait, no, we're not. We're playing Asheville. I'm sorry.
It's close. It's close.
It's close. I mean, it's as close as I could possibly get. I was just going to say, this is Coal Plant. Is this the wrong map? No, this is definitely Asheville. So in Europe, in ETF2L, which is the main league, I suppose, for many people, we play Coal Plant, which is a slightly different version to what is played in UGC. Americans much prefer to play Asheville. So today we're going to be playing Asheville, and Coal Plant, which is, let's say the sister map of Asheville, Feila were very, very good at it. They were very, very good at it back in the day. They had some very strong strats. They've won it in Premiership Grand Finals. They've won it against some of the top teams around. It's a very strong map for them. So I can see why maybe this may side with Feila coming into this game. However, like you said, Kaza is a very, very strong sniper. Coming up against Ollie, who is an incredibly good sniper as well. Finally made his debut in Prem with his side this season, but maybe not so used to the Feila strats. Who knows? Teams are readying and unreadying just to bait us a little bit. They just want to get us a little bit going. But we are live now. Asheville on the blue is going to be Feila eSports, the second seed, against Super Dickmann's KANNONEN in the red. They are the top seed in this upper bracket final. and we're going to see what's going on. I can hear some jetpacks, Buck, and I'm expecting to see some flying pyros at some point today. But what do you see going on so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think Viethoofd to be running that jetpack, but Jackal is a very early bomb onto this flank here. I mean, it's interesting, a bit of a weird mid right now. I mean, starting to go under is the likes of Feila and just trying to like pick off the SDCK players. And SDCK losing so many players right now, only left with 3 right now, with Mezzo finding some frags in the back line on the 3 points right now. It's at the very top, but yeah, going to be a very quick mid fight right there for the likes of Feila.
That's really interesting strat there. That's something you don't see on Plat, which is Feila adapting to this map here. Just a quick point out that Layla actually is running the crit streak, so she has 100% crits, and Sprayer died there during that mid fight, so he's only going to be at 25% Uber. So if they decide to get aggressive here, if they're maybe not aware of the fact that the crit streak is in play, as the crits does come out, and it takes down Elikor. Jackie Lace gets backstabbed by Mello, so a lot of spam taken away here, but most importantly, Sprayer is alive. He's got a Sendary for company, so it is going to be a Sendary on the Pyro here today rather than Yahoo. But a really strong mid fight and really strong hold so far from Feila, Buck, but that crit streak is going to be at a disadvantage as Sprayer's getting closer to Uber.
Yeah, like, it's really weird watching SDCK right now. Like, they're really tentative to try and walk in here. Joe has some traps on this box, and they're going to get thrown out by Samba. He tries to walk in here, but I mean, they're kind of respecting SDCK at the moment, giving them the space they want on the point. Possibly looking to get a crit to try and take back the point, but I mean, I'm sure Layla knows that they have Uber at this point, and just be careful of this repush. But the crit comes out and does sort of force the Uber, but not many people found in the return for this. But a massive bomb in comes from the demo from Elikor, trying to get some damage onto the combo, but not finding as much as he'd like.
Oh! Big jump from middle. I thought that was going to be huge there. Everyone was clustered around that doorway. It didn't quite happen. Actually, the point hasn't been captured. The point is still in control here from Feila. So they've chalked off 1.5 minutes, and SDCK kind of, I don't want to say struggling, but they're kind of in a situation where it's taken them a long time to cap that despite having such a good exchange.
Oh, Layla.
And Layla dies there. What happened?
I think like Samba just kind of peeked the combo under, and then big bomb in onto the other side and manages to pick off Feila.
Oh, it's so easy,
a lot going down right now.
Yeah, Joe comes in and takes down Sprayer in turn. He's like, you take down my better half, I'm going to just go in and take down your medic as well. Really interesting play here from Clark. He's running the level 3s in the shutter, and often that's something we see as Layla goes down again to Credu this time. So these medics not staying alive for very long in this game, but this kind of strat of having a sentry in the shutter doorway in main and just wrangling it across the point. Normally you see it with minis, but Clark is doing level 3s, which is slightly more annoying to deal with as Mezzo gets a 2k, takes down the sniper and the demo. So that's going to be really, really big, as actually the time is being chalked off here by SDCK. They're slowly catching up, only about 30 seconds behind now. And it seems that Spamfest can't quite get the setup the same way, as Mello tries to go for this sentry, finally does take it down there, saps it and revolvers it down. So that sentry is no longer going to be a bit of a blockade, but we do see a bit of an advantage here, Buck. Again, Layla running the crits, she's at 85%, and Spray's only at 70% on the Uber.
Yeah, we're looking forward to take some mid space right here, as Spamfest with a nice mini on top of this roof, as the sentry getting picked off as well on the back lines. But I mean, nice to know coming in from this mini from Spamfest, sort of trading out his life, and there's only 3 up right now for SDCK, as they're on 100%, going to be comfortably sort of holding on to this point. But I mean, yeah, a bit of a weird sort of throw earlier from not capping the point. Like, I mean, Mezzo had to basically solo cap it at the one point when they got it. So I think if they had that earlier time on the point, they actually would have been in a lot better situation as they are now.
Just pointing out there, looking at the scoreboards, if you combine the scores of the 2 snipers, they wouldn't even be halfway up the table on either team. They're both kind of at the bottom of the table. I think they're just getting pressured so much. This game is just, as they start to pop off here, as Ollie's got a couple of frags, and Kaz does take down Ollie as well. As SDCK start pressuring the point, you see Mello deciding to go for the for the sniper. I just feel these snipers are getting pressured so hard that they're not giving much time to kind of settle down. This game has been very back and forth. Soldiers and Pyros launching themselves all over the place. So Chris comes in, as Sentry goes down, Elikor goes down, Layla gets body shot there by Kaz. He might go down as the jetpack Pyro does fly in and gives a little bit more space. Clark is very weak, has to abandon his sentry for a second, and he's not going to be able to wrangle it as Feila start to rush across the point. They're actually still in control here. Bug, again, SDCK have not captured the point. They have given it up for free. Clark goes down and his sentry is going to get sapped. They may be able to push here with a bit of a man advantage, but once again, they've lost about 45 seconds from being in a strong position to actually capturing the point.
Yeah, like, it seems really weird coming from them now. Like, you'd kind of expect them to just always be on top of, like, the objective as itself, like, even when it comes to Koth. Like, I mean, you know, it's a big square in the middle of the map, like, can't really miss it, it's got to stand on it. I mean, they shouldn't really be scared either from, like, Joe spamming stuff and poker peeks it. Like, when they've got the players there, and the level 3 especially, coming out from Clark, like, they need to just kind of trust their teammates to try and damage the people that are going to try and contest them on the point as they cap it. But, I mean, got to hold this for another 40 seconds now, but I've got a feeling that if Feila cap this one, it'll be the first round.
Yeah, big jump in from middle, gets a ton of damage onto Elikor, 25 HP. The Uber does come out from Sprayer there. Layla is at 99%, 100%. She is, of course, running the crit streak, so even if she pops it there, she isn't going to survive. Will not make her invulnerable, but can boost the damage of Joe here. Gets a nice sticky in, but doesn't land on anyone. Layla goes down. One frag out of that crit snare, Buck. It's Jackie. They've taken down Clark and his sentry again, but they've sacrificed like 6 people here, and I think SDCK might hold on to this.
Yeah, they need to try and push this point now, but with Poker going down, it's not going to look very nice. Sunburn is on very much healthy, and going to defend this very easily with the help of this sniper. So, first round going to SDCK after finding their footing, after losing probably more time than they'd like on the point. But yeah, I think if they just need to sort of stand on it, try and get some caps in, and like, after they bait out the jumps in from Midland V-Clocks.
Absolutely, and just pointing out there, Kaz is now up to 20 points above his medic, as is Mezzo. The assassin classes for SDCK going absolutely huge here on that first round. And just wondering whether the crits is really necessary from Feila. They actually are on the medigun now, so they've switched it up here, as a lot of frags come down for them early on. Joe goes down, but so does Sandburn, so does Elikor, Jackie Legs, Mezzo. They are all falling by the wayside here for SDCK. There was just a level 1 in the doorway now for Clark. That's not going to be that much. Hold on as Layla goes down.
Credu from behind. Like, I don't know how that even happens. Like, it's the pyro and, like, well, she has a pyro and a heavy right next to them. So, like, I don't know how that even works. But I mean, yeah, nice pick from Mello to get the NG there and get the. Okay, never mind. Kaz is actually popping off right now. Gets 2 headshots straight over to the point, doing a lot of damage, and Elikor following up as well. Middle does manage to return the favour though and gets a big bomb in. But yeah, first point cap is actually going down to SDCK after that kind of seemingly huge mid.
That was really weird. It looked like so strong for Feila there. They lose their medic, and then suddenly all it takes is the sniper to pop off a couple of headshots, and they're on the losing side there. And yeah, I mean, not looking in a good position right now, actually, considering Sprayer is at 100%. And Feila are starting to creep forward here. They're at 60. Jackie Legs trying to deal with Crayon, who's on the flank. They're just kind of a little cheeky 1v1 there. Clark trying to help as the Uber gets really aggressive here. Grenny was going to chase down Death's Poker, and V-Clocks, Crayon, Mello, they've all died. Layla has got out, but she's only got Joe and Spamfest for company. They may be able to push this. And I mean, technically, you know, getting that kind of force there with, you know, what, 40 seconds taken off of the clock, I think Feila will take that, and they have to make this Uber work here, Buck.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going to have to try and find as many frags as they can here, but it's a nice jump from Elikor actually to manage to avoid most of Joe's damage coming in from this Uber. But still 4 down for SDCK right now, and this Sentry going down, and yeah, going to be 2 going down right there for Feila as well. But I mean, they managed to sort of get this point at the end of it, so Joe.
I'm sorry, but like, I always talk about the Joe zone. I really should have trademarked that, because, you know, people are taking this, right? This was my invention. Like, just Joe just going in deep, and then middle comes in with the follow-up and absolutely just kind of destroys Sprayer there. Thought he was in a safe position, but you're never too safe. Middle goes exactly the same depth as Joe. He's learned from the best and just goes in and gets the medic pick there. So looking good for Feila now. I mean, they're 30 seconds behind here on the time, but they're not going to mind. They have an Uber advantage. They're in a decent position on the point. It's all up to SDCK here to make the play. As Gritty's trying to get some high ground. Mezzo goes down to the sticky traps, but Ollie's gone down here. And wow, they're losing people. And a saw there from Sprayer is going to, you know, catch up that Uber advantage a bit here. And what looked like a really strong position as they come in with the Uber here.
Oh no.
They're coming forward. Elikor's gone down. They're not going to get any frags, but a little bit kind of a planned desperation there.
V-Clock's jetpacks in behind. I don't know whether they've seen him, but he's going to be pushed towards Kaza and does get that pick in the end. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of fast players coming in from Feila right now because, like, you know, with that previous bomb from Joe middle, they did it that fastly. I wasn't even sure where they were. I was wondering what was going on. But oh, nice set play from there. From Joe there to actually deny Jackie Legs on that jump, but you're going to be still holding on to this point barely, but 100% coming in, and Kaza with that opening pick, going to be onto Ollie, going to be helping them take this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're giving it up for free as well, it seems here. And actually, no! Oh, that was so close. I thought there was going to be a drop there. I saw Sprayer, like, getting launched away by the rankled mini. I was like, no, he's not going to drop to a mini. But no, holds on to that 100%. No force, no drop. And again, kind of switching the sides here. Now it is SDCK here in a comfortable position. They have control of the point. They have most of their players up, and they have an Uber in play. And Feila just 10% away, having to catch it up here. But we've seen a lot more aggression, I feel, out of Feila. They're not scared to just go in and take these exchanges.
Yeah, definitely. And get out of Crane, coming in behind, trying to see what he can get and making space. But I mean, Uber just come out. But again, an Uber comes out in return from SDCK, so both teams exchange a bit of an Uber here. But massive bombing from Elical, he's managed to find the pipes, and also Kaza finding some body shot as well. So going to be sort of still holding on to this point with Spamfest trying to build a level 3 as well.
Yeah, trying to get these kind of sentries up in the main doorways and just shooting people who contest the point. That's pretty much the NG's job, it seems, the meta now. Sunburn gets backstabbed there. Big jump in from V-Clocks. Jackie Legs with 3 frags. Just takes down Joe as well. Absolutely insane. I'm struggling to keep up here, but I'm not going to lie. Like, this is just chaos.
Yeah, this is just Prem Nashville, honestly, in a nutshell, when you've got like the top 2 teams going to be fighting it out, really. And yeah, nice turnaround from Spamfest to try and take up Mezzo there. But I mean, yeah, Feila going to be coming down with the point for now, and also on a almost 100% ad here for Layla. And Joe's going to be putting some sticks on this shutter as Clark's still very persistent with the sentry. Not gone down just yet, but they're going to want to try and get as much time off this as they possibly can. Jackie comes with a big bomb. Oh, forces Layla, gets the nice 2 rockets, almost gets the drop there, but Vicox going to be trying to jump in and find anything with that, but yeah, Uber not really doing much there.
No, and you take a look at the Ubers now. Sprayer 50%, about 35% ahead here, and SDCK are going to use that. They're going to know that Feila have it in the back of the mind, they're at an Uber disadvantage, and they're just going to walk forward. They're going to get aggressive, try and put time on the point and say, hey, walk towards us, try and do some stuff, because if you do, you know that we have Uber advantage. But Middle's going to jump behind, not going for the medic, just jumping maybe for a bit of a distraction here, as, wow, Mello goes in, gets the backstab, the sentry gun has gone down, Clark's gone down, so that level 3 is not going to be rebuilt anytime soon, and Feila are kind of catching it up here, actually. I mean, SDCK have Uber, but Layla's, what, 80%? So they kind of have to get aggressive there, and I think it's going to be a credit Uber. He sees it, he's going to receive it, he's going to go forward, and Layla goes down. Stickies from Elicor combined with Credu there. It's just going to demolish them. Only about 5 seconds left on the clock here. Feila still have a chance here, Buck, but SDCK in control, and they just have to play defensive.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing they're doing is they're definitely underestimating Credit at this point. They're doing so many good plays on Scout on this map as a sort of normal Koth Scout map as it would be. But I mean, Jackal's bombing him right here. Going to be getting a lot of damage onto the heavy. Nolly going down as well, so it's only going to leave Crayon to try and cap off this point with the help of the medic. But some last second plays are going to be, oh, Jackaleg's a nice bomb onto Layla. We'll find that.
They have to flood on the point. Credu's done it, but there we go. It's that wrangled sentry from Spamfest. It's only a level 1, but it did the job. Again, chaos. Chaos. Only a few seconds left for both teams, and it's just about who can get the bodies on the point. I think the thing that lost it there was such a good Uber from Credu and Elicor. They got forward, they got the damage, they got the medic, but they should have backed up and reset. They've got to remember, there's so many players still alive for Feila that they just came forward and got so many frags that, you know, losing the point didn't matter. They could just take the respawns as Melo comes in with a backstab onto Elicor. That's going to be a huge pick. Both the Ascent boys are down. Credu and Elicor are not going to be able to continue this big fight. How's he died this?
Yeah, it's like Middle just spamming the heavy, like Samba doesn't underestimate the damage he was taking, and Spamfest just jumps over the roof. But as I say that, Mezzo gets Layla in the back. So, gonna be no med right now on the side of Feila, so there's just so many picks going down on every side. This is like probably the most difficult Koth match I've had to cast, because there's just absolute chaos everywhere.
it's like it's more than a DM server at this point. As middle goes in, can't get the sentry though, and technically this is still continuing to be a mid fight. As the point gets half capped by Feila, and then SDCK chalk a little bit off. They're just like, no, we're not gonna let you cap it just yet. It's still a mid fight until somebody officially captures the point. But Sprayer has 100% Uber, is following Sandburn across the point here. They're losing a couple of players, so they should be able to cap it out perhaps, but no, Crayon's behind. Actually manages to force Sprayer. That mid-range damage from the scout just doing enough to make Sprayer pop the Uber. They're going to get a few frags here, but Layla is going to have the Uber advantage. She is well away with a V-Clocks for company, not going to risk that 70% she has in the bank. But it does mean SDCK finally capture the point back, but this is just nuts.
Yeah, Joe and Mezzo trading in the back lines there. It's going to be a bit yikes for him, but yeah, I mean, not really what I expected to see from Sprayer. That was kind of an interesting pop, but like, I mean, had probably enough health to survive that. I just need to trust the team a bit more. Possibly playing a bit scared, but a bit conservative, but yeah, going to be trying to living sort of near this. It's actually weird seeing them hold on this side. Like, I've noticed SDCK holding on the sort of boxes side as opposed to the ramp side. And they're just getting spammed, like, they're getting abused by Crayon and Spamfest, just peeking the roof and shooting the heavy and that sort of thing.
There's actually an Uber come out here, and it's going to be used mostly onto V-Clocks. V-Clocks on the chase, can he get the medic? Oh, Spray's weak, but no, middle with the cleanup. He's just so deep. He's basically at their spawn bar. Like, he can see the spawn door from where he dies.
Oh my god, I'm in the back. Layla goes down anyway. This is madness. Like, Clark has just like had his level 3 that entire time. So even through all those players, CeeJaey, like, the point is still on the side of SDCK. It's like, they're trying to DM, but then they're kind of forgetting where the point is, and then they don't live long enough to get it, and yeah, it's just a mess.
They're forgetting, like, the Highlander ethos, kind of. Like, just capture the point and kill as many people as you can, because, even though they have Uber out, it doesn't matter. You've got a Pyro, you've got a Sniper and a Spy who could get a pick at any moment. You don't have to worry about always having an Uber advantage, but talking about that, there is equal Ubers at the moment for both teams, but hey, SDCK don't care. They are well ahead in the times here, as we see Sandburn trying to kind of push underneath and Poker pushing on top, and middle takes down Sprayer.
Yeah, Sprayer was some questionable positioning there. Just like, rather than going like towards the sentry that they had built, it decides to kind of go into the little dugout thing underneath the balcony. But as I say that, Jackie lives some massive damage on the point, and so many people dying there for Feila. As they still hold on to this point, they haven't once capped it, Feila. Like, even through all the DM and all the, like, even if they get Sprayer, they're just not managing to get to this point. So, I don't know, they need to shift their focus maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, something being pointed out here by Spamfest in the chat, that Clark's telly is illegal because it's inside the spawn. And therefore cannot be attacked from the entrance side because it's inside the spawn. I'm not sure, and I can't confirm whether that's UGC rules or not. So whether or not that will come into play if people decide to dispute things. But talking about that, Joe doesn't care. He's just going to keep fragging and takes down a couple of people. Crayon gets Jackie Legs with the bleed damage, and it does look like finally, I say this tentatively, that Feila should be able to capture this point for the first time in this third round. SDCK, meanwhile, just have 4 seconds, make that, to left on the clock. All they need to do is capture the point and hold it for a few seconds, as Joe, getting a bit wise now to those sentries, takes down Clark's sentry straight away. And Spamfest is running the minis. Something I've seen, Buck, that Spamfest has been doing in Pugs lately is running minis and like launching in, like doing an NG jump.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Which,
but wait, Layla. Wait, I thought I heard a med drop. Yeah, I heard a sniper headshot come through, and Layla goes down and drops the Uber because I was about to say it was going to be. Oh, and there was a backstab apparently from Wiethoofd. So, but either way, maybe med going down. So yeah, it could be Uber coming out from spraying to try and take this point. But they need to try and like come back into this. I mean, there's a sentry coming in from the NG, but I mean, med going down in return.
Middle.
And Clark going down as well.
That's such a huge bomb from middle, and Jackie Legs does exactly the same and takes down Layla as well. So look at Ollie. Ollie's on top of the point. You can see Elikor underneath, and they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna stay here. We're not gonna fight. Just look through the window.
Peace.
Could have been friends, but Elikor jumps away. He's like, no, I'm done. Yeah, both meds dying in very quick succession there. Great bombs by both the soldiers. Really, really top level soldier play from both Jackie and Middle here. As Jackie goes down to Middle, that's the first exchange of this new fight here. Level 2 from Clark trying to wrangle across the point. Joe goes down. And it's basically who's going to win this fight based on the damage and frags they're going to get in the next few seconds. I feel Middle jumps in, trying to get good. Clark goes down to Ollie. And SDCK kind of bleeding here a bit, but then they're getting frags. I don't know what's going on, Buck.
Yeah, people are like, they're so segregated as well this entire time. There's people like, there's combat members on the left, combat members on the right, and then just a random sentry with the soldier like holding it all the time. And never mind, because Creddy is going to be holding W into Layla and just absolutely destroying. As everyone else is going to be standing on the point, Uber comes out, 2 seconds left, and yeah, it's going to make it 2-1 to SDCK right now. As I don't think even teams know what's going on at this point, CeeJaey.
No, it's for want of a better term, it's a clusterfuck, Buck. I mean, it's just all over the place. Yeah, that's a pound for the swear jar. I aggro drink next LAN. We'll see what happens on this next mid fight as we enter the 4th mid fight. Remember, this is played to just 1/2 per UGC rules in the playoffs. So if SDCK win this next round, then they win the map. We don't go to a second half as you would normally in UGC. It is just first to 3. So Feila definitely kind of on the back foot here, and SDCK in control, just match point away, or map point away, I should say. And Feila are losing players here. 4 players down, including Ollie, so no sniper pressure. Relicore does go down to Poker, and he manages to get the medic as well.
This is why they don't play on this side, because they should respect Poker's heavy from this like bottom bit. Like what they're doing is they're essentially fighting into a heavy that they can't see with just his minigun bullets being spat out and the medic healing him. Doesn't make any sense, but I mean, like SDCK somehow losing that mid fight after having so much space on it. Like they didn't want to cap it despite having all the territory on top. Like just a reminder to the Prem teams that the point's on top of the point, not under it. Like they just need to get on it. It's madness.
Poker got a 6k. He killed he killed 2/3 of the enemy team during that mid fight.
Insane.
So he's nuts. He's nuts. Did you know that Poker and Catman used to be the #1 duo team in PUBG in Europe?
Oh wow.
Well, there you go. So
the tracking comes in handy.
It's that heavy gameplay. He gets another frag. He takes down Eloquent. The 7k. He's just protecting Layla. He's like, come with me, Layla. I kill. And he's just killing everything. Clark goes down. The Uber is going to be used now. And then Viethoofd is going to want to flash. He's going to want to go for it. He's not running the jetpack anymore. He's got the shotgun out. And they do get a lot of frags there. But they don't get Sprayer. Very weak. Down to 50 HP. But manages to survive.
Oh my god.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. I take that back. I mean, I'm watching Poker. Poker's on a 10k. This is where the action is. I don't blame you. I want to see this Poker heavy play. It's just insane. He's killing everything.
Yeah, he just takes all the heals right now. Like Joe's just like, nah, I'll do my own game. I'll just spam them from the other side of the map, and Poker's just gonna frag in the meantime. But you're gonna be holding on to this point with a minute taken off it already. But yeah, I'm surprised Viethoofd actually managed to get that. I don't know whether Sentry ran out of ammo. I assume he did because he was just kind of air blasting him back. But yeah, Kaz are going to be finding an opening frag onto Ollie. That might actually open it up because, you know, the one fear Poker is going to have is probably Kaza. But, I mean, Crayon managed to pick him up even through his demo pyro and heavy. So, interesting play. Middle with a massive bomb. Managed to pick off Sprayer even through his entire combo. Like, I don't know whether SDCK are just totally perplexed right now. They're just losing focus. But something needs to be, changing right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was, as we see an Uber coming in, it's mostly used on Joe and Viethoofd. Joe jumps behind. I think he's going to try and cut off Clark from behind, maybe, but no, he comes face to face with Jackie Legs, and actually, that Uber turns out terribly. I was going to say, it worked out so well for them. They just sit there flanking, Crayon and Middle go in, they get the sniper and the medic. Those are huge picks, but then they try to Uber in with only a few players. Oh, Middle gets the medic again! Sprayer is dead! Middle is just flying through the... Oh.
It's actually a god. Yeah, that was pretty well timed actually, because I mean the sap came in from Ajay and the sentry had just gotten sap, so pretty well timed for Middle to actually sort of take that and has a good jump, and Joe jumping into the sentry that's unsapped, so interesting play there. But yeah, 4 players going down for SDCK, just getting the spawners now, and Clark with a very aggressive sentry needs to be punished here. I don't know why they don't just shoot it.
Spray's gone down again. Goes down to a bottom shot from Ollie. I don't know, I'm not sure why he was being that aggressive. He's kind of going in through the lower areas and maybe didn't realise that you know, Ollie could see him as Ollie takes down Clark as well. So that's pretty much all the defense is wiped away there. Jackie Legs is jumping in behind, trying to get some pressure onto Ollie, who's starting to really pick things up here for Feila, but they're not being able to capture the point here. And you know, Ollie gets another frag, gets Sandburn, and you know, I was just going to say earlier on, it was kind of flipped on its head. It was
Kaza!
I just.
You knew it's Caster's curse, so like, Ollie's doing well, Kaza comes in with the mid pick.
I was going to say, like, Feila are flipping it on its head. They didn't let SDCK cap for a long time, and SDCK have just gone back and been like, you know, we're going to hold for a minute and a half as well. And they're walking onto the point now, so they have an uber advantage. They need to get something done. Wrangled Sentry here, level 3 from Spamfest, getting so much damage down. Clark just has a level 1, manages to take down V-Clocks with it, but it's very weak and has to kind of get that up. Mello comes in with the sap, lots of damage. Poker again, this time on a 3k, and they are going to defend this point here, Buck, but I have no idea what's going to happen next, because SDCK don't look like they want to just wait for respawns. They just look like they just want to keep pushing.
Yeah, I mean, Jackaleg's coming in with another bomb sort of into nothing though, and will get picked up by Poker, doing an excellent job of denying everyone. Kills Mezzo as well with the help of V-Clocks, but an Uber comes out, Spray actually getting forced in the back line. Didn't see that. Somebody would have been Crane, I imagine, possibly. Or middle, but
oh no!
Yeah,
Elikor dies to the Sentry.
Oh,
they try to Uber into main, and he's obviously not in that part of that Uber for a second, and then the backstab from Mello, or Ajay, sorry, comes in and gets the backstab. Mello, Ajay, it's one and the same. But the kill feed is just put the kill feed up. We don't even need to see the action. Just see how everybody is constantly dying. Feila, though, for the most important fact of this game right now, are in control of the point. Clark has a level 2, goes down to Ollie. Sprayer tries to get onto the point, but there is an Ubered Poker on the point. Poker frag, 29 points. Wow. Absolutely nuts, and it is 2-2. Next round will win the map, and this is still a best of 3, everybody. We still have at least one more map to go. I just want to point out that Mezzo, who is rostered for Feila on ETF2, but is playing for SDCK in UGC, currently has 97 points after just 4 rounds. Almost guaranteed to hit over 100, as he does. He gets it. He gets the backstab onto Ollie. That's up to 99. 3 down for both teams. It looks like SDCK are bleeding more.
Yeah, actually getting 2 kills there with the knife. Could be something on the point though. Now SDCK is middle, coming in with a bit of a bomb. Oh, manages to land the rockets. Can he land the last one? No, we'll go down just before that, and the pipe isn't going to find Sprayer. But yeah, going to be sort of back and forth here. But I think Feila going to be finally coming down with this point, as Crane gets Elikor as well. Just kind of walking in there, and Crane just landing on Crane's head. Going to be trying to contest the point. Jackie looks at the bomb in, managed to find quite a lot of damage, and Kaza going to find 2 there with some nice headshots. We'll kind of force them off, but a bit of an Uber exchange going on right now. Going to be soloed onto Sandburn. Meacock's managing to run up, but does find a Sentry, but it's going to be kind of tippy-toeing around right now.
Yeah, Ollie starts to kind of work things into Feila's favour in what is essentially still the mid-fight here, as neither team has captured the point. So no sniper for SDCK, but they do have the ground, they do have the pressure. There are a lot of weak players on their side, as this level, there's a mini sentry now from Spamfest just on this point. It's denying them from capping it very much. They are going to get the point, but they got so much damage down, as Clark is still running the level 3s. He's up to level 2 at the moment. These sentries are causing big problems for both sides, I feel. And you can see so much focus coming in from the spies, the soldiers trying to go for the sentries so that they're able to capture the point, as Joe wins the demo battle with a nice frag onto Elikor. And maybe that's the opening that they need to kind of get some cap time here.
Yeah, Sandburn going to be trying to run away, but I mean, big bombing from middle, still on the medic. Oh, we'll get Sprayer in the back, as Sandburn trying to defend against so many people there with the rest of his team going down. But yeah, as you say, I mean, Sentry folks coming in here, Clark's getting Sentry getting absolutely demolished, as the rest of Feila will be standing on the point. But I mean, I'd also like to shout out the fact that before in last round there was literally just a point for about 10 seconds where Clark and Spamfest were just 1v1ing each other with wrangled sentries. I was about to say, like, such a riveting gameplay. It was great.
Is that the next map to be added into MGE? Just Asheville middle.
NG
wrangle only. Yeah.
Great.
We do see Uber here for Layla. She has 100%. They do lose Spamfest. Creddy was trying to go in for the Force as well, but can't manage to do it. Actually, no, the Uber is used here. I didn't see Layla take any damage. I guess they're just trying to get some aggression and maybe some frags, but in the end, all they do is end up losing Crayon and V-Clocks. He does take out a Sentry with him, but that is a few players down. Jackie's going to come in, gets a ton of damage. That last rocket from Jackie was so tasty, but doesn't manage to get the frag, but they still have Uber. No, they don't.
Yep.
How did Sprayer die?
Yeah. My shock was at Ajay getting a Sprayer in the back lines as well, through all the Sentry and the Pyro and everything, and he finds Kaza as well. Going pretty big actually. Both Spies doing surprisingly well. I mean, Mezzo's still like 100 plus points, but yeah, surprising. Like, it's actually weird seeing the Spies do this well. Like in Prem, like you think this seems to be good at supply checking and stuff, but I mean, with the amount of chaos going on, I'm not really surprised to see like the amount of backstabs coming out. And Sprayer almost dying to spam there. Needs to be careful. Would he die to bleed? Oh, almost dies to bleed. But yeah, I mean, you know, Feila gonna be still standing on this point.
Yeah, they have the Uber advantage here as well. SDCK really aggressive. I'm not sure if they know that Sandburn's that far forward. He's just kind of tucking around the corner. He's going to do a ton of damage. Oh, the pop from Layla catches Poker, keeps him alive just in time there. Sprayer is going to be running away, trying to stay alive. There's only 4 players for company, but Sprayer is back with Jackie legs closer to the spawn. Going to retain that Uber advantage. Both Spies going absolutely huge here, actually. I think it's just maybe the unfamiliarity with the map. It's slightly different to Coal Plant. I don't know. Yeah, it must be the Chaos bug that just the Spies are taking advantage of the focus on these Engies as Clark does go down, and normally an Engie pick on Koth isn't a big deal, but it does mean that Sentry is not going to be wrangled. SDCK jump in, Elikor takes the Uber but gets denied in the middle of the air by V-Clocks, and that Uber isn't going to get as near as much as they wanted to, and in fact they're going to get more frags here. Feila, they managed to take down 5 players, make down 6.
Like, Spamfest Sentry alive through all that will just like do so much damage onto the point. But yeah, I also wanted to say that like just before that, when Joe got under the frag, like both demos are actually bottom of the scoreboard for both teams. So they're just really relying on the assassin classes and the heavies, I feel. But Poker definitely doing a better job of it, I'd say right now, because I mean the amount of denial coming in from him and like how much pressure he's been putting on them has been pretty insane. As they've only got to hold this for another 15 seconds. Yeah,
and they have an Uber in the bank. Joe has to kind of go huge here and just block this point, but there they go. The Uber's going to be used onto Poker and Joe. Joe gets 1, Joe gets 2, Joe gets 3, Joe gets 4. He gets a Sentry that counts as a frag in this game. V-Clocks is just going to flame the point and take down a Sentry. Overtime it is, but finally 3-2.
Wow.
Feila coming back from 2-1 down. I'm pretty sure this was their map pick, but it went so close. I mean, absolutely insane. I don't know how long that went on for, but I feel like we've been watching engineers wrangle each other for the past hour or so. Layla on 96 points, Sprayer on 96 points, Mezzo on 122, Poker and Mello, aka Agi, both getting over 80. I can't wait to see the logs. I know I love stats, but come on.
I wonder if 40 of Mezzo's points are from the teleporter kills that Ajay couldn't get.
I'm just thinking the points are going to be just saps, just destructions coming on from these guys, just going for those sentries.
Because middle in the chat put GGTY for death, so I was like, wonder if that. Well, not that it matters because they won the map anyway, but yeah, it's still pretty funny teleplays from Clark in the spawn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of the legality, but it seems like Feila weren't happy with that, but I suppose in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter because they won the map. But you know, if they'd lost the map, is how they would have gone. Just taking a look right now, and I'm just going to sort by frags, and at the top is that man Poker. In 31 minutes of gameplay, ladies and gentlemen, he got 40 kills. And that's not something you usually see coming out of a heavy in Highlander. For he was just playing so passive, taking a lot of heals from Layla, but anyone who got close to her, he just gunned down. Like, he was very good at denying the pressure coming in from a lot of things. Middle there with 37 kills. That's actually more than I expected from him. He did such a great job. Take a look. He got the most med picks out of everyone in the server. He got 7. You're 7. The next highest was Creddy with 5. But 37 kills coming in from middle. I felt he was just bombing in for that Sentry, trying to take down Clark. I mean, I felt like he had a pretty rough job, but it turns out he was actually getting a lot of frags. Also on 37 there is Kaza, who sniped pretty well for SDCK there. Fresh blood to the team, but top fragging for them in this game. And they've got a lot of players hitting sort of the 1 frag a minute mark there. We got Crayon, Mezzo, and Ascendry all on 31, and Credu on 30. So I mean, huge frags coming out of a lot of gamers there. But like you were saying earlier, Buck, the demos, see Joe and Elicor there, 25 and 20 respectively, pretty much at the bottom of the table. I mean, why do you think that is on this map?
I mean, they did the damage. They just probably weren't as impactful just at the moments. Like, they're not like the way they were playing. They weren't playing in the moment. They were kind of just playing kind of semi-passive, kind of on the roof, spamming from a distance sort of damage. Which is interesting to see actually, because Joe usually to Fate, he took the Ubers, but sometimes he was just spamming from afar. But I mean, looking at these logs, really, I'm kind of seeing the assassin classes for SDCK doing really well. As you were saying before, Mezzo and Kaza doing a lot of the work. So I'm looking for the SDCK combo really to kind of pick it up a bit. And then, as you're saying, Poker doing a lot on heavy, doing 40 to 24, just taking the heals, as Joe taking less of the heals that time, and Middle doing a lot of work in the back lines. I think really what they need to do is worry about Middle more and this back line that comes in, because Ajay's been getting a decent amount of picks as well. Middle's been doing a lot. And definitely needs to be a fear for them. But I mean, in return, on the likes of SDCK, Ascendry going 31 to 12. So looking at Ascendry going 31 to 12 for me says I don't know whether he's baiting his team if he's dying that little. Looking at Vclox's deaths in return, I mean, you could argue that Vclox's deaths help win them the rounds. So I'm not sure whether that's just a combo issue, but I mean, either way, it's still a pretty good KD. So I wonder if he'll try to bring that forward.
Yeah, I mean, Ascendry is a very, very experienced pyro. I mean, he was, part of the team on Premtech that reached the Prem final all the way back in sort of season 7. So he's been around the block a few times. He has his play style. And I feel, the jetpack from Vclox just going in deep with those Ubers. He was getting a lot of the Ubers. And I feel that when he got the Uber, he was chasing down people. He was going in. And often at the end of that, he was making sure that Layla got out. And he was going in deep and at least trying to get the medic or do as much damage in his disorientation as he could. Whereas I felt a lot of the Ubers from SDCK, they were being used on Credu and Elicor. They were very much the demo scout Ubers coming in. And they worked very effectively as well. Like we said, Credu got a lot of med picks. They were going in deep. They were getting a lot of damage done. But I felt Ascendry was pretty much left out of the Ubers and just kind of being a little more behind the scenes. And that would explain why he's dying so less, kind of maybe just protecting his NG, making sure Clark wasn't getting backstabbed, making sure that, people behind on the point who weren't involved in the Ubers were being protected. So 2 kind of different styles there from both teams, either involving their pyros in the Ubers or opting to go for the scout demo instead. But this is obviously a different story here. We're on to Upward now, which I believe is going to be a best of 1. Which is the UGC rules again, only playing to 1/2. So on payload and attack defense maps such as this, you only play best of 1 unless the teams agree to a BO3. So we'll just be seeing one kind of attack defense phase. I'm not sure who's going to decide whether they're attacking or defending first, but I mean, it's payload, Buck. Based on what we've seen, we've seen kind of the snipers, the spies popping off. Who do you think comes into this kind of feeling more confident?
I mean, looking from both teams' perspective, I mean, you've got the aggression coming out on the side of Feila, and it's been working well for them so far, on the likes of Koth. But payload is a completely different kettle of fish because when you kind of slow it down, and if SDCK sort of think, let's get a massive last and a massive third hold, all they've got to do is really just play around Clark sentry, and Clark being a very experienced engineer, going to be sort of knowing when to put his sentries, when to pull them back, when to just live, when to spy check, and that sort of thing. And with the help of Ascendry and his passive playstyle that he's been doing, if anything, that's going to help them a lot more. Also, with the fact on third and last...
Just if this changes anything, Ascendry looks like he's not playing this map, and Yahoo.
Oh, yeah.
So this is their main pyro who's coming to play this map.
I mean, yeah. Either way, Yahoo. I think I think he's previously voted Pyro of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah,
he's been twice, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, going to be playing around the Pyro a lot on third and last. But yeah, as I was saying, there's going to be less sort of areas for them to try and cover. I mean, there's only really a few choke points and places for them to deny bombs from middle and for spies to decloak. So they'll be kind of expecting them a bit more. So I think SDC. Well, it depends who goes first here, actually. But I mean, at the moment, it looks like Feila's going to be going first on the defense. So I don't know. I would say still either way, the SDCK defense is going to be probably their strong point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can get into a situation where you're trying to push against a sniper that's well protected and hitting those shots and getting the picks, and you have a spy behind enemy lines just picking 1 or 2 people off every time you're getting ready to push, it can be very demoralizing because you're getting ready. You're like, okay, team, we've got our Uber, we've got our buffs, and then bam, bam, a sniper and a spy each get a pick each. And you're kind of like, oh, okay, now we're not in a position to push. We have to wait for those respawns. And yeah, it can be interesting. And I think that based on what I've seen in the past and the histories of these teams, I think SDCK are more of a payload team. I think they prefer this kind of play style. So I do think they'll have the edge kind of in their minds. But after that first map being so close, it's going to be a bit of a body blow to SDCK just thinking, okay, we were really close there. We were in the lead. And despite that, Feila have come back and taken this advantage. So Feila can almost just sit back here and just be like, okay, let's just play, and even if we lose, it goes to a third map. But I mean, who's going to be the differential for Feila then? If CeeJaey kind of have that defense on point, who's going to be the guy or girl on Feila to break that down?
I really think Joe is going to probably come into more of his zone, as you'd say, on this map, because I mean, for one, it's payload, so I mean, you get easy damage on the cart, that sort of thing, which he can do, and like he basically has homing pipes when it comes to cart denial. But yeah, I think he will kind of take these Ubers a lot more with the help of Vclox as well, because Vclox might run jetpack for like third and maybe last, even if he wants to jump in through the windows and that sort of thing. So I think if they use those Ubers with the fact that they'll expect the sapsing from Ajay and the bombs in from middle, like I think that's kind of where their strengths go lie, really, and just trusting Joe on this map as opposed to the last map.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Joe usually is the kind of, I don't want to say playmaker, because generally you play around a spy pick or something like that, but Joe does so much with regards to taking the Ubers and going in and also just going in dry sometimes and just trying to get as much damage and as many frags as he can to help his team win the ensuing fight. But it does look like it's going to be SDCK in the blue, so they'll be attacking first and Feila in the red defending. So SDCK will try and cap as many points, preferably as far as they can to get to the last point and set as fast a time as they can. And then once they've done that, we'll swap the teams around and Feila eSports will try and beat that time. So we'll see how that goes. And whoever, either SDCK defend for that time or Feila will beat it. If Feila do win this best of 1 on upward, they'll be walking through to the to the grand final of UGC Premium Season 26, and they'll be awaiting someone from the lower bracket to fight them next week. So SDCK definitely under a little bit of pressure here. They do need to get this map win to take it to a third map and keep their chances of being the highest seed in the final alive. And we see the spies bump into each other there, Buck. Just kind of an awkward bump. Okay, let's just move out each other's way. But both of them are still alive.
Yeah, basketball move can be here from the demo and the soldier. Jack Legs on this direct hit. Going to be pressuring this very hard. Oh, Sap comes in as well from the help of Mezzo. So that's a massive play actually with Spamfest going down with the Sentry. Well, Spam's a Sentry, I should say, going down very early on. So whether they'll try and work off this pressure early and bring out their med early, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Sentry is a pretty big pick because usually it just allows more openings for your suicides to come in, but Spamfest already got it up to a level 10. You see 2 frags coming in there. Layla goes down! That's a drop! Elocore with the pipes!
Like, I don't even know, like, that was probably help with the direct hit as well, I'm not sure, but yeah, the pipes over that mountain, like, need to be really careful, like, on that kind of stair area. But, yeah, I think he's trying to defend as much as he can, takes that Clark, takes that Crayon. On this defense, but I mean, I'm expecting this spray to be coming very soon. But Jackie Legs making this direct hit work pretty well right now.
Yeah, its direct hit is very good. It does more damage to sentries. It's harder to reflect for the pyros, and usually trying to get the sentry down is what you want to do. As it does go down, Layla's been caught in here. Kaz is the one to get credit for the frag. Joe comes in from the teleport and tries to get some damage down. He's gonna have a little 1v1 against Elocore, who decides to just back away there. Absolute calamity there for Feila as they try to maybe defend a little bit too far forward, despite having such a massive Uber disadvantage. And all that's meant is that Joe is stuck behind enemy lines, is surely going to die sooner or later. Layla is at an Uber disadvantage now, and there's no way Feila can even try and hold second here, surely.
Joe Silverlight is trying to deny the cart a bit, as Clark is still going to be sitting on it, but yeah, going to be sort of just backing off slightly now, as Elikor doing a good job of just trying to lead this with help of Yahoo, coming in fresh on Pyro. We have Spray actually sitting on 8% right now, so going to be some small ad for the offense, as going to be trying to hold sort of in the house aggressive here. It's Poker and Joe, but just have to back out probably smartly. As Ollie actually top scoring right now on defense, trying to find as many redeeming frags as he can.
Yeah, was getting a lot of frags on that first point. When he had the support of his teammates and they were in a good defensive position, he was in total control. It was just that drop that meant that SDCK had that sort of opening, that free opening. But Layla's at 85 that Uber's used really early here from SDCK, but Elikor's going to jump really far forward. Layla has to try and hold on here. They get so many frags, so many people going down here. Vclox finishes off Spray there. I'm not sure if that was a fall off the map or something like that. And in the end, they suffered no casualties from that Uber there. They managed to pick up enough frags, and the cart is all the way back still near the sewer entrance, as it looks like Middle has just been holding up top and denying that pressure. As Creddy finally gets onto it, Buck, but that's probably the worst thing that could have happened there for SDCK, because it's given opportunity for Feila to get a bit of a hold here on third.
Yeah, definitely, and with the Elikor going down as well, it's going to be even slower, and also Kaza going down as well. So no sniper and no demo right now for this offense, but I mean, as you're saying before, I think like that Uber was like 2 seconds too early, honestly, and they could have found a bit more like later on if they'd popped a bit later. But and some nice sentry players coming out from Spamfest, not denying that. But big bomb in from Jackie Legs. Oh, Layla getting forced, so Jackie Legs taking the team on his shoulders and absolutely just giving them a massive opportunity here with that force, and Sprayer coming up to 100% very soon. So, and also Mezzo in the back lines managing to get the sentry, so no sentry to worry about either in the face of the Super.
That's, yeah, another opportunity here, as Ollie does take down Elikor, so no demo for this Uber. No heavy for this Uber. It's going to be a Yahoo-only Uber, so Vclox doing the best he can just to push away his enemy Pyro. Yahoo's just going to try and get some damage down here, but he's going to get taken down by Poker eventually. And in the end, it's not worked out well for them, but look at Kaz. Oh, Mezzo gets 2, gets Medic and NG. That's Layla and Spamfest down. There's a lot of people on the cart here, and it does look like Feila. We're going to have to give this up, Buck, and this is going to be a last hold.
Well, I love how just Jackie Legs and Mezzo just doing everything for SDCK right now. As yeah, they're going to have a lot of people down right now. Feila's trying to defend here, but Mezzo getting Ollie in spawn practically as he's still around this area. And but Sprayer actually goes down there and actually see that, but that's going to delay them quite a bit on this offense possibly. But yeah, going to have to try and get the spawns up as quick as possible and try and get some decent positions, because at the moment it's still looking a bit sketchy for them.
Yeah, I mean, 4.5 minutes for the first 3 points is fairly quick, and yeah, big pick there onto Joe. No demo for this last hold. It's pretty much equal Ubers at this point, but Middle's decided to try to kind of stand up top with the rest of his team. Vclox's nice reflect, just going to slow them down a bit. He takes down Jackie Legs with his own rocket. They actually are at a dis-ad here, SDCK. I'm not sure if they're aware of that, you know, if Feila decide to get a bit aggressive, they could catch him out, but Vclox with another reflect onto Elikor.
Yeah, Elikor like shot a pipe in, Vclox reflected it, and then he didn't want to move because he was waiting for an arrow or something, I think, and then just died to the reflect. Not that it really matters because he has quick respawns, but yeah, a bit of a misplay there as Layla going to be sitting on 100% now, as they've actually managed to sort of redeem this with the help of Vclox, because he's doing quite a lot of work just then to try and deny the space. But Creddy running in, holds W, manages to get half the damage onto Layla. And the rest of the team coming in and does manage to force it, so going to be backing out very quickly here, SDCK, and I'm pretty sure that Spread will be comfortable there.
Kaz is popping off a bit here, gets Ollie, gets Crayon. Maybe not the biggest picks in the world, but Sniper down does give a little bit more freedom here, as Jackie decides he's going to kind of go underneath and maybe go for a bit of a spam on this sentry, causing Spamfest to have to wrangle, but still Uber advantage here for SDCK. They have 100%. They started to move up the stairs. I'm not sure if they're aware. They do get seen. They do have to use, and they're going to chase down Layla. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to get into spawn. She's faster than Pyro. Yahoo just catches her out.
Yeah, Jack looks a massive bomb as well, very well played onto that top left balcony. It's very important for Soda to bomb them there. But in the back lines, Joe, no one was focusing him because he's still in his health pack area. And, you know, it's very stuck in. It's just like a complete mess on the cart as there's only 2 up right now on the defense. And going to be trying to cap this out with the help of Clocks. Level 1 just sort of denying from Main. And that's going to be a, wait for it, 6:46 time.
I mean, it's not the fastest time we've seen. So I think, you know, I think SDCK will be happy with that. They'll be like, hey, you know what? That's actually a fairly fast time. But I think Feila will be like, you know what? We did not defend well there. They'll be beating themselves up a little bit. Yeah. But I reckon they'll be confident that they can beat this time as well. I mean, Poker there and Joe, you're talking about Joe got a couple of frags. Poker killing a couple of people on the cart as well. That buys an extra few seconds. That may be in 5-10 seconds, which could make all the difference when pushing in right at the end there. Sometimes it's those last ditch kind of throw your body at the cart and just stop it as much as you can. That could make the difference when it comes down to it. Let's not forget, this is the second map. Feila eSports took the first map on Asheville 3-2. So SDCK needs to hold on here for 6 minutes and 46 seconds. If Feila beat that time, they will take this map. It's only a best of 1 in the playoffs in UGC. And they'll be going through to the grand final as the top seeds. SDCK need to win this to force it to go to a 3rd map, which will be Gullywash, I believe, which could, again, go either way. So we'll see what comes out of Feila here, I guess. And I'm just wondering, Bug, whether we're going to see any crits coming out of Layla.
Possibly later on, maybe. I'm expecting this round at this point in time that it's still going to be just normal sort of Uber exchanges. I mean, Joe probably going to be taking the brunt of that very soon. But one win from middle, we'll try and go on the sentry, but Clark with some nice wrangles will try and deny that as Kaz actually taunts with the trumpet as he gets the SMG kill into middle. So going to be delaying that for a bit as they try and move up this cart very slowly. Elikor going to be trying to spam this out as much as he can. But I think one thing I will say is that SDCK will try and learn from what they did on the 3rd and the last points and try and like not make sure they get caught out by what they did for Feila, because I think that will kind of be their winning gain there, as Focus got.
Yeah, they're getting the cart really far pushed up here. It's costing them a lot of lives, and it's cost them, you know, about a minute of time. And Joe going down there quite late on is not going to be good, as expected. They want to go for an exchange here. And Ollie's also gone down to Kaz. So, I mean, good defense here, actually, as we see. Look how aggressive they're being. Elikor walking forward, gets 2 frags with the pipes. Spamfest also going down. They see the fact that they've got a few frags here. They've got no sniper and no demo to worry about. They can take that high ground and get some decent spam and catch those players out who are walking too far forward. So now finally Feila have a full complement of players to maybe push in here, and they have to use very, very early on. This is not going to be a great Uber unless they win this post-Uber fight. Joe just gets launched straight back to spawn. Yahoo's like, yeah, you know, I don't want none of that. Go back to where you came from, and throws him back towards the spawn door. And Ollie's just getting pestered here by Mezzo. This is a really strong hold on this first point, and they need to get a pick here, but they need to take someone down.
Yeah, been looking for another bomb. Would he find Kaza? Actually does find Kaza, so very well played by him to try and get that bomb in. But yeah, going to be even Ubers right now for both medics as the Ubers were just exchanged. And Kren, sorry, actually in the back line is going to be taking out Clark, and with the help of the sap, I think, from Ajay. And going to be trying to retreat in here, and they're going to try and come back onto this hill. Probably wise players, Jackaleg's trying to escort Sprayer out, and they're going to try and get this first point. But that first point has cost them 2 minutes already, so possibly looking for a comfortable hill hold here if they can manage to get their players up. Elikor is down, and so is Yahoo, so probably need to be very careful holding here.
Yeah, I mean, the 3rd and the 4th points are where you're going to be getting most of your time, so to use that amount of time on first, and yeah, the 4th comes in, Sandbird gets enough damage down, Joe's going to jump in, but the Uber gets just used by Sprayer, and they're going to clean up that demo. Elikor decides to jump forward now. Actually, not in a good position, gets taken down by Poker, so Mello comes in, gets a backstab, takes down 2, takes on the medic and the heavy. Yahoo also goes down as well. Ollie with the headshot, and they get so much damage. Middle comes in and takes down the sniper and the NG. That's 3 left alive here, and they're actually people blocking the cart though. But you see Jackie Legs and Credu are kind of lurking around. They're going for Feila.
Oh no! This is just absolute throwing. What's going on? Like SDCK through, and then like Feila through by just like allowing their mid to get picked because they didn't have enough players around, even though they had like 4 of us, I think. But V-Glox just walking in, killing. Like, I don't know why Sprayer was running up that hill. Like they didn't need that positioning in that case. But I mean, even though there's only 3 up right now for Feila, like I don't even know what is happening right now because this is not Premiership tier gameplay I'm seeing right now. It's almost like a pub with the amount of people going in at the like absolute weirdest times.
I mean, they went for, I guess, kind of just trying to get the medic there. They do manage to get Sprayer, so they have a slim advantage. It's about 20%. But I think the reason SDCK are happy to kind of keep playing this is because they're just eking off time here. They're just going to be frustrating Feila as middle goes for a huge bomb, actually takes down Clark. So that sentry is now unguarded. And Ollie getting some frags here, so I mean SDCK are losing players, but as long as they're not worried about this cart being pushed in, they don't really mind. And with only 2.5 minutes to go, this is not looking good for Feila. They need to get this cart capped and they need to snowball this all the way to last. They have an ad and they need to use it here. As you know, you take a look at Sprayer, he's actually really far forward but doesn't have the Uber just yet. Middle goes in for another one of those bombs, gets denied in the air, and that sentry is still alive. They've thrown all of their bodies. Finally the sentry goes down, but it does mean that Sprayer has the Uber now, Buck, and it's going to be really, really hard for them to push 2 points in 2 minutes with equal Ubers.
Yeah, like, it was so weird with the fact that, like, they kind of throw yourself at the cart on second, Strat managed to eke off, like, 2 minutes. But yes, it's somehow favoured them, and they're going to be using really early actually here. With later very scared of the sniper, but return Uber comes in favour as Credu going to be taking this into the combo of Feila. But you're going to be getting 2 frags there as the Pyro and the Soldier going down. As the cart moves it very slowly. They've only got 1 minute 41 as Elepo going down, which is a nice pick from Ajay, but in the battle line, Mezzo getting Ollie. So no sniper going to be very hard for them to deal with here as Sunburn is bored, so just drops down to the cart with the help of Jackie Legs in the conch. So yeah, this is looking very grim right now for Feila.
Yeah, only 1 minute and 20 seconds. It takes about 40 seconds from third to fourth. And you see middle goes for a bomb there and misses completely and just does a taunt. I think he knows it's all over as well. So it does look like SDCK are going to take this second map here, and pretty much dead time now because Feila physically can't get that cart pushed any further. And that's the thing on a best of one. You can have a bad defense here, a couple of mistakes pushing, and it really does cost you. As you see here, Feila, who, you know, didn't hold well and made some mistakes when they pushed in, ended up with SDCK taking the map. And I mean, we kind of thought that could happen, right? We did see SDCK maybe edging this one, but Feila, I don't know, maybe they're going to be feeling a little bit shell-shocked here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, both teams kind of had their moments, and then both teams kind of had their like semi-throws, I'd say, like in terms of trying to keep them head alive, or just very unexpected plays coming out. But I mean, I don't know, I kind of expected Feila to have a bit more cohesion than they did, because they kind of just threw themselves at second then, and you know, they managed to put the card pretty quickly, but you know, the repeated aggression coming in from SDCK, they just didn't have any answer for it really, and I think ultimately like SDCK just being very committed to the defense, but like it was well-timed defense, and it's kind of just what helped them win them that, I think, overall.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Like, especially when you take a look at first point, like Feila held it for a decent amount of time, but when it took what 2 minutes for the Feila to push first,
yeah.
If you're spending a third of your time trying to capture the first point, which is pretty much the easiest one to push, you know, across the map, it's going to be a struggle from there on in. Taking a look at the logs, and in fact, actually top fragging, we've got Feila player Poker again, this time with 19 kills in 15 minutes. Ollie doing very well, going 18 for 14. Credu also on 18 kills, but then we've got Yahoo there, who's fresh from apparent internet issues, able to come in for this second map, and he hit 17 frags. Both meds not dying very much, 5 on Sprayer, 7 on Layla. So, I mean, it felt like they died a lot more, because it was a bit of a chaotic point, but it's very hard in a best of one to really isolate any stats there. Buck, I mean, does anything stand out for you there?
I mean, the fact that Poker's still going top frags on heavy really just is a testament to kind of, well, one, how good of a heavy he is, and two, the fact that he's really just playing the heals and playing smart, because he's one of the only people like see consistently playing with Layla. I think that's just the way that kind of Joe likes it, really, in terms of like, Poker is the one passive player on the team that can go aggressive, but V-Clocks and Joe and Middle do all the aggression together at the same time. And that's where most of their damage comes from. And on a map like Gully Wash that we're going into, I think that will probably play in their favour a bit more. And like, as you said, Ollie doing really well. But also shout out to Creddy as well, like, going 18-2. I mean, 18-2, 18-12 on payload is, pretty impressive considering, like, the percentages you'll be facing and the fact that he's got to push the cart as well. So clean up on a lot of the frags, I think, as well as Yahoo as they go forward. But yeah, kind of interesting dynamic coming out from SDCK there as they managed to pick that up eventually with their kind of passive playstyle and also throwing themselves on the cart for second, that sort of thing. But as for Gully Wash, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the kind of mids revolve and whether they'll manage to push in last Feila, because the last levels can be very difficult on this map in particular, or whether they'll watch out for back caps. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen 3 different game modes in this cast today. We've seen King of the Hill, we've just seen Payload, and now we're going to see 5CP. So we're seeing all of the variety. And I do think, like, off the top of my head, I would say, oh, hey, this map favors Feila. I think, based on previous results of the 2 teams, I'd say that Feila are probably slightly edgier on a 5CP map. However, looking at the lineup of SDCK, you kind of have to wonder why, because, they do have Credu, they do have Jackie Legs, Prem level 6's players on those kind of classes. They are very good at those kind of, and of course Elikor on demo, so they do have that sort of DM potential in the side. Based on scrims between these two, I do believe they've been pretty level pegging on this map, leading up, because it was in ETF2 week 4. Which was the week we've just finished. Both sides won this map against their respective opponents. However, against each other, it was pretty level. So I'm expecting a pretty close game. I'm expecting to see a lot of, again, scout demo Ubers coming in from SDCK, getting Credu and Elikor like in deep, trying to do as much as they can. I'm expecting to see a lot of V-Clocks and Joe Ubers, getting the Pyro in, maybe some jetpack plays, I don't know, coming in from Feila. So we'll have to see how they go. I mean, if you had to pick a decider between these two, like, what kind of scoreline do you think we're going to be seeing here?
I reckon it'll still be pretty close. I mean, I think SDCK, like, how I reckon this match is going to go is Feila will probably start off strong, and then SDCK, so they'll take like 1 round or something, and then SDCK will adapt, so it'll be like a long 10-minute round or something. And then it's going to be like very back and forth, but then overall, I don't know. I still think the prediction. Well, actually, I don't know. It's kind of hard to predict because, as you say, I mean, you got Elikor and like Credu and Jackie Legs, who are, as you say, very strong success players. But I don't know. Maybe the kind of cohesion from Feila and like the fact that Yahoo might run like jetpack to try and jump up into river and that sort of thing might actually be more annoying for SDCK to deal with. So it's going to be very close to call. But I mean, just for the balance, I think I'm just going to put it on Feila.
I mean, I think it's going to be close. I imagine it's going to be, like you said, there might be a quick round from one of the sides, and then a much longer round, and then I think we'll start to see a few more faster rounds. But again, this is played to 1/2 for UGC rules. Now, UGC rules on 5CP say half an hour, and then you swap sides, or if a team wins 4 rounds. So I do believe, because it's 1/2, we'll be playing first to 4 caps. I'm getting slight kind of tentative agreement from our producer.
It's good enough. It's good enough.
In ETF2L, it's basically win difference 5, so that's 5-0, 6-1, or half an hour. But I'm pretty sure UGC is first to 4. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to roll with that. And I don't think that's going to come into play too much. But, I mean, maybe if it's like 3-2, normally you're kind of like, oh, it doesn't matter. If we've got time, we can still win. But if you're at 3-2 down and you think the next round the enemy team will win, that could be a kind of a big decider here. That could be a kind of, maybe we shouldn't take too many risks.
Yeah, definitely. And, I still think this like map will go to the full half an hour just because of how close it'll be. But I don't know, I have to sort of be proven wrong. The one thing I kind of always worry about in Gully Wash is like my kind of trope with Gully Wash is the back caps. And people kind of sneaking up on the point, like whether it be like a scout or a spy or a pyro or something, like something that not getting called under on last, like in water or something, and manages to sneak up onto the point. Like if there's like a low health heavy or something trying to defend it, it can sometimes be a problem, and teams need to be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I think one of the major things for like top prem teams, like top sort of premium UGC teams, is going to be the Ubers, because I think the Ubers can be very much deciding on a map like Gully Wash, especially on last, when you just like bring it in through river, have like your heavy pyro just sit on the point, and it's quite hard to deny. So I think the med picks are going to be focused very heavily here.
Yeah, I mean the thing with a lot of people think, oh, Gully Wash, it's a sixes map, and they want to play like a sixes style, and they'll get a sniper pick or they'll get a medic pick and be like, yeah, we can just push in now. But it's not. There's 9 players. There's a pyro who just totally deny your Ubers. There's snipers and spies who can pick people off, and often we do see people pushing in and not cleaning out players as best as they can. So they have to be really kind of clinical with these Ubers, as we are live now. Feila in the blue and SDCK in the red. Whoever wins this map will be going through to the grand final. First casualty is going to be Vclox, as Ollie responds very quickly with a nice headshot onto Creddy. Jackie Legs is still behind, but Helical with the pipes! Huge pipes, takes down the medic, takes down the sniper. Everyone else is going to get cleaned up here, Buck. And that's going to be a pretty confident first mid from SDCK.
Yeah, well played to Helical there to get those pipes and like massive damage to the combo, but also to Jackie Legs and Mezzo, who like Jackie Legs kind of managed to pick off the pyro to start it off, and then like went up drop down with the help of Mezzo, so distraction behind, and yeah, managed to cleave on the frag. So pretty well played by those two. Going to be sort of walking into second here. Going to have a 100% ad on the side of Sprayer, as I've actually just noticed Crayon is still in the battle lines here on mid, so I might look for a back calpers to try and walk on second.
Yeah, he's going to do a 1v1 with Creddy. I'm going to watch this, and Creddy wins that. But yeah, I mean, pushing into last again, it can be a difficult prospect if you've got a level 3 up like Spamfest does, and you have people well positioned, as Mezzo gets a bit of spy on spy action to take down Agi, and actually in position here to maybe go for the NG and the sentry. There you go, the backstab onto Spamfest.
Nice.
That sentry is wrangled, but it's just going to do nothing to help stop this Uber. Vclox is also down. They're cleaning up the frags here. A few players left alive, but they're very weak, or not being able to get onto the point. Spamfest even types in chat, how did I not hear that? I'm so deaf. Maybe that sentry could have done something, but no, SDCK quite clinical with that push, taking a fast round, just like you said, Buck. It's like you can see into the future, taking a fast round. We'll see if this next one is going to be a little bit slower.
Yeah, it was actually on the side of SDCK though. I mean, the aggression came out onto the mid, but I mean, the anti sort of brain plays on the 6. But I mean, Layla actually going down very early, and so does Vclox, and Kaza getting the quick headshots right now. Gets Ollie as well on a 3K, actually going ham on this mid. Actually, the 3K actually being all the frags right now they have on this mid, so pretty well played from the SDCK sniper, as the rest of the damage comes on the point. But even then, the return frags found by Feila in the back lines, as they somehow... No, mid's still going, CeeJaey on line.
I mean, Feila had good position on the point there. They took the high ground, and they were just sort of stood on top of the point, and they were just fighting people as they came towards them. Sprayer went down there, but then the later fighters from SDCK came in, the likes of Elikor and Clark and Yahoo, and they managed to basically clean them out and end up winning it, capping it out. So they are a bit of a disadvantage here. Feila only at 25%. Sorry, Sprayer only at 30% now. Layla at 50%. And they've lost a couple of players here. So I don't think they'll be able to push out, but this is the kind of situation where you have to question yourself, Buck. Do you push on this 20% ad? If they're aware that they've got it, or do you sit back on last and just hope that, the Uber trade goes in your favor and you can push out based on the frags you get there? It's kind of a coin flip at times, and often it takes quite a strong determination to be confident enough to push out, because on 5CP, especially on Gully Wash, it's hard to push out, even more so in Highlander.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, with the Ubers being so kind of close, the little advantage is kind of hard to push out. And as you say, on Gully Wash, just because of how the kind of map geometry favors the offense really, and the fact that you've got to try and push out for all these choke points, and the offense can just sit in big door like they are doing and try and wait for picks. So what they'll probably do is, actually, I heard Emilio doing this before in someone's stream. I think he was just calling to literally sit on big door and have the sat waves just go in and see what picks they can get, and preferably it's like the mid or something, and they can try and work off an Uber rad. But yeah, they'll try and slow this down. I mean, they are one round ahead, don't forget. So yeah, this will probably be a long round I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, you get into a situation where, like you said, they're a round ahead. They've got a level 2 in big door. They're just kind of chilling. They are under no pressure to push in here. And Eliko gets the frag onto Joe, so it's going to slow them pushing out even more. Mezzo is just chilling on last, just observing, letting his team know what he can see. They're actually getting some time on the point here. That's a lot of cap time coming in. And Mezzo actually survives, gets away with that. Sunburn's gone down, but again, Feila don't want to push out here if they know that there's a spy somewhere on last, and the cap is that far gone.
Yeah, Mezzo going to be actually, I think he's sitting on Cloak and Dagger? Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, just in this river area, going to be trying to scout them out, but I mean, they're kind of surging forward here. Feila as they try and take some lobby space as the sticks are being put down on the shutters, but Eliko are going to get rid of them and try and have a 1v1 demo 1v1 in lobby. But he manages to get Joe again, and Layla going down to credit with lower, like absolute madman that he is, and the absolute like weird positioning coming out from Layla's. I don't know what kind of went wrong there, but massive Uber Rad going to be surging forwards here. SDCK, there's some nice air blasts actually from Velox to try and deny that heavy coming in, but the time goes on to the point. Mezzo going to be going to Poker, gets a stab onto Poker as well. We'll find out. That's another easy cap for SDCK after that kind of odd push out, and then Layla dying there, so I need to probably change that up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding in lobby, but if you're in a situation like that, Joe had stickies on the door, didn't det them for the scout. They needed somebody else there. There needed to be somebody else accompanying Layla, because once Credit went lower, there was no one physically blocking him from going straight into Layla, as Joe takes a lot of damage on this. Nice reflect there from V-Clocks, keeps his demo alive. Jackie instead takes down the sentry. He's going to just wrap around, but gets taken down by Crayon in the end. SDCK kind of stuck on the low ground here. Feila have the high ground. They're just sort of spamming down, trying to get as much damage as they can. Sprayer taking a fair amount, and this Rankled Mini from Spamfest is just saying, hey, you want to walk in? You're going to take these bullets to the face. Sandburn goes down, and there we go. That looks like a mid-fight win coming in for Feila, finally, at the third time of asking. But with a 2-round lead, they're going to need to not play faster. There's still plenty of time on the clock. We've still got 22 minutes or so. But, the pressure on SDCK to push is just not there. They can just wait for Feila to make mistakes like they did earlier.
Yeah, very true, and they're going to be sitting on second right now with even Ubers, so possibly waiting for the pick classes to come in. Mezzo actually is alive all the way back at the enemy choke, so possibly going to be calling something there. But I mean, massive rotation comes to big door right now as Clocks are trying to set up a sentry, but to no avail as they just go down very quickly. Yahoo going to be trying to deflect this as much as he can. Going to be a solo Uber onto Joe, but then a return solo Uber onto Yahoo. Actually gets disconnected, a bit of a weird Uber, as the return frags actually get 3 in the favour of SDCK, as SDCK coming out in favour of that, and they're going to try and look forward to going to mid very soon here with some decent pick classes coming in to SDCK.
Yeah, the Uber was kind of pretty equal there. Yahoo just using it to just push them away and take that space. But Mezzo gets the backstab. This is the thing. The frags are happening outside of the exchanges. The combo play is pretty equal from either side. The Ubers aren't hugely favorable from one side or the other, but these odd frags are happening as Eliko takes down Joe again. He's dominating him here. Just manages to take him down as he's trying to escape. And I just feel that if they didn't let these pick frags happen all the time, the sniper, the spy, the scout, the soldier just coming in and picking off people one by one, Feila would actually be having a better time of it here, as Poker does win a fight in choke, takes down Jackie Legs, but SDCK in control of mid. Huge Uber advantage here, Buck. They can just push on to second. Yeah,
they're kind of semi-hiding to try and find Sprayer here possibly, but Sprayer in some good position right next to the sentry with the rest of his team. Going to be surrounding him, and yeah, middle sort of waiting around, I think, is Spy Ajay going to try to defend the point for a bit, but yeah, nice passive play right now. They're 2 rounds ahead now, so need to be sort of comfortable with what they're doing. Middle tries to go in from behind, but doesn't really find it. Kaz finding him with the SMG, but yeah, quick Uber. I mean, gets blasted away a little, and Vclock with some decent reflex as the Uber gets exchanged here. on the side of SDCK. But I mean, you know, level 2 sentry coming out from Spamfest will try and defend this, and nice headshot onto the scout from Ollie will try and defend that. So a bit of a disjointed Uber there from SDCK.
Yeah, you see how effective that sentry can be. Spamfest gets it up, level 2, wrangles it, and it takes some of the focus. It means that people are actually looking at it or taking damage from it when normally they'd just be focusing the frags, and that's allowed them to get enough frags, enough kills to push out here and recapture the second point, as Crown is desperately trying to do it with the assistance of Middle, but needs a little bit of support here. Poker does take down Kaz somehow, and they're just kind of being a little bit baited here. Joe is on the point now, does get the cap, but the question is at what cost? Where's Poker? How is Poker killing everybody? Where is he?
He just walks big door and like kills like 3 people, I think, from the under peak from lower as a massive Uber comes out. But Layla goes down in return though. I didn't actually see that, but yeah, gonna be no mid right now. As 80% on the side of Sprayer. I think, to be fair, Poker managed to get some frags there, but Sprayer was not one of them, unfortunately. But I mean, you know, Poker actually opening up the space to get onto mid here, so trying to return some spaces. The good looks at Uber in here, possibly.
Yeah, they're getting some cap on the point, and the Uber does come in. Question is, are they going to be able to capture the point here? It's so close. Elicourt does go down to the wrangle again. Spamfest bringing that sentry all the way forward and takes down the demo. They do trade a lot of lives, and you know, they're not going to get a back cap here as Sandburn's just kind of guarding it. But actually, Crayon comes in, gets so close. That would have actually been a really big play if he managed to get the frag onto the heavy and got the back cap there. But somehow Layla's still a bit of a disadvantage here, about 10-15%. Had to back off onto last. And SDCK are going to be in a position now where they may not decide to push because the ad isn't that big and they may not be even aware of that ad. But again, 2-0 up, they can just sit back here, throw a sack in or two, and wait for Feila to make a mistake like they did earlier. And then when they have that big advantage, go and try and finish off another round.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, with sort of Joe being very aggressive in lobby again, even after dying to Elicourt several times in this particular area, he needs to be careful here, but can be sort of holding in lobby, but Crady holding W onto Joe. Joe gets a nice pipe onto him, to be fair, but Beacock's going to be finishing off that frag with Joe staying alive right there. Yeah, it's going to be 1 down right now for SDCK as they're sort of holding in big door once again with the Suba, and later going to be getting 100% very soon, but it'll be 2-0 still for them, and you know, managed to kill 10 or 11 minutes right now. But I mean, you know, what are you looking for, CeeJaey, for SDCK? For Feila to sort of push out here and try and find a winning round, possibly.
I mean, they need to. You see what Middle's doing. He's up in river. He's alone. Ideally, he needs to get there and, you know, maybe get some spam down on someone. Maybe help Mello get into, or Agi, sorry, into a position to try and, you know, get something down, which he's doing now. So no one's noticed Agi cross there. Middle does trade his life for it, but they've got to kind of, you see what they're doing, they're just taking lobby now. They have control of lobby. They need to get Ollie into position now so that he can get a snipe. They need to get some sticks down, get some, take a look, Sambones, he's crept into lower. I'm not sure if they know. He's thinking, no, he's thinking against it. He's like, no, that's not a good idea. Let's not risk it. They're not taking any risks. And that's the thing. Until SDCK have a player out of position, it's going to be very hard for Feila to do anything. Because at the moment, they're the ones having to take the risks. They're the ones who have to be in an uncomfortable position, out of their comfort zone, as Mezzo does take down Ollie. So this is the point where I say, okay, get back, especially when they lose poker. Get back onto last, wait until your respawns come in and try again, because you've got to be softly with this approach, because if you go in too hard, again, something like that happened earlier, they're going to lose their med, they're going to get forced early, and it just hands the enemy team the advantage.
Ooh, Ajay was very close on that stab there onto Sprayer, like, but managed to get picked off there, a bit unfortunate from him, but yeah, I'm surprised Joe didn't actually get his sticks there, because he probably would have got 1 or 2 frags there, as he was sort of peeking into lobby, but you're going to be 100% still on both teams, very passive right now. I don't actually, oh no, Sentry went down actually from a nice up, so no Sentry right now on this defense, but going to be building it up very shortly, as Joe going down very low, getting saved by V-Clocks with some nice air blasts to put out the fire there, but Middle coming in with the bomb. Gets very well denied by Yahoo though, and yeah, that's going to probably give him nightmares seeing Yahoo on Pyro, as his reflex have been pretty on point so far. As yeah, Sprayer still staying in his big door, as they're probably trying to park the bus here, CeeJaey.
Yeah, they're just kind of chilling. I mean, we're approaching the halfway mark in the map now, and you know, when you're in this kind of position, you have control of the map, you have all of the points except for last, and you have control of the game. You're 2-0 up. They take down Ollie, so no sniper, so that gives some time for someone to get on the point, actually. Jackie Legs gets the frag onto Spamfest, actually. So that sentry is going to be open to Spam. But, yeah, I mean, Feila are just kind of feeding players here. It seems a bit weird. They're trading players back and forth, which... Wait, SDCK used their Uber somehow.
Yeah, there was a weird force, because like, I think... Yeah, I think Poker, with the help of Middle, managed to spam out Spray when he was standing in lobby. Like, it's always a risky place to stand if there's not enough spam going onto that sort of balcony area. But yeah, gonna have Spam Festival standing on this point, and there's actually quite a bit of caps on. I didn't notice that until now, but need to be quite careful of that. But I mean, yeah, Layla with 100%, but you know, notice how they're not really confident in pushing out, even though they kind of need to be. I mean, they're gonna be using on Poker right now, but I don't think it's really gonna find much. The Pyro isn't actually here to deny, but all they want to do is just, you know, hold the Eski onto mid. Going to be trying to back away here as yeah, Spray is sitting very comfortably. Poker actually going down there, probably going to not favour them very well, and Kaza with some nice headshots going to be trying to deny them, as Joe going to be slowly running out of ammo. Mezzo getting picked up in the back lines as Elikor actually trying to run in here and aggress back in.
See, that's something that most players don't do. Joe just walks forward. He's not scared. Doesn't matter that there's 4 players ahead of him. He just walks forward. He doesn't kill everybody, but he manages to take down the sniper. What does that mean? That means his team can walk through without worry of being sniped. We take a look here. SDCK just getting their Uber now. They're going to use it. Jackie is going to take a big jump in. Manages to take down Jen. Lands right on his head. But Layla this time is well away. Has Spamfest for company. With those crits on the Frontier's Justice. Nice little whip there from Jackie Legs for another frag. But, I mean, again, we've seen this situation, Buck, where Feila tried to push mid off of sort of a man advantage, knowing that they have a disad and getting pushed straight back on by SDCK. So they need to do that exactly here, but they've lost 2. Vclox and Crayon go down. They're going to have to push without a scout or a pyro. It's going to be very difficult. Elikor is going to get caught out here, but not sure what else is going to die. There's a wrangled level 2 on second for Clark. It's going to take down Poker.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I think Joe's got the right idea. They need to be going forward to. I mean, they've only got 14 minutes. They need to get at least 2 rounds to even make this even at this point. And, you know, Clark with this level 2 on mid is actually, you know, if anything, Clark with this level 2 now is basically just saying to them, yeah, we're prepared to just hold mid or hold second or whatever point we need to hold, because we're prepared to just play off these 2 rounds that we've already got. And it's going to make it even harder for them to try and push in here. And I think it's going to, like, start being that mind game, really. You know, after been playing for this long, CeeJaey, it's like, you know, it's going to be kind of tiring, especially having to push it to like level 2 and Joe being anyone going forwards. Like, you know, I'm wondering what the comms and the kind of morale's going to be like for Feila right now.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of tiring, like mentally tiring, playing in the situation where you're on the back foot. SDCK have been in control of this map for a long time now, over half it. As the Uber comes in, Layla uses hers much later. Again, we're seeing these Rankle sentries have just dominated this game. Clark's one is going to get sapped, but it's Spamfest ones that took down Elikor, and that means that Feila finally have this huge advantage. Vclox with the jump gets a bunch of damage onto Jackie Legs. He's not able to go in for a counter sack, and that does mean that we have a bit of momentum here. Ollie goes down to Mezzo. That's going to slow things down a little bit. Credy's going to sneak in. Oh, there's a level 3 there. Don't really want to come into that. Both soldiers go down, and Kaz manages to get a headshot onto Poker. Are Feila even going to be able to cap this, Buck?
I have no idea. I mean, they've got a Spamfest level 3 now. I just say like aggressive on this midpoint. It's so weird seeing both these engines just from level 3s just like consistently throughout like the Koth and the 5CB now. But Joe going down to a nice trap from Elikor is going to probably delay them in this. And there's a very small ad right now for Sprayer if they decide to go for this choke. But Ollie's going to be staring down it. No, it decides to back off. So, but you know, in return, Kazla getting the NG pick right there as the Uber comes in, but 90% right now for Layla. She doesn't really have as Pipe's going to be going on to it. Does just about use on very low health as Pyro's going to be taking the brunt of this. Vclox we're trying to run forwards here, but I mean they're running into sticks, they're running into a Pyro, and they're getting baited. There's only 4 up right now for Feila.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. I mean, they didn't build it as fast as SDCK. They did have a little disad because they used so late on the previous exchange. They should have been aware of that and positioned themselves accordingly. They drop so many players when the Uber comes in that when they counter Uber, there's not very many players to actually push onto and actually get anything done. Clark's sentry, I think, runs out of ammo there, or someone ran out of ammo. I heard some clicking, but Elikor with the pipes takes down Joe, takes down Layla. SDCK are in cruise control right now. They can take this mid, and they can probably use the... No, they can't! Was that a wrangled sentry? A wrangled mini takes down Sprayer at like 80-odd%. That's a saving grace. Spamfest has kept them in this round, I would say, because otherwise it was going to be a huge Uberad going into last for SDCK. They may get second off the back of this, but at least, oh no, they're backing off it. They're scared of Ollie. They don't want to have to face Ollie. He's starting to pop off here, getting some frags, and stops. Okay, well, I mean, both snipers die. Let's not talk about that. But I mean, yeah, they were just kind of scared of the sniper there. That Feila have held on to second, and they have an ad here, Buck. So this is where you've got to say to yourself, look, we need to win this now. We need to kind of start executing and taking advantage of these sort of slim advantages we've got.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost so many players right now, though, and they're trying to push it through choke, like their own choke, but they're just not really finding it. But the thing is that you're forgetting is that, you know, they're still 2 rounds up, and they really don't care if they take second. Like, they're really happy to just sit on mid SDCK. And again, Illico taking off Joe, like, and Kaza finding the head of Layla's. Ollie going to be trying to peek this and try and return the favor, but it isn't going to find it. Like, you know, Illico has been doing so much work right now on this map. I think it's probably that Sixes mentality. You know, maybe he's just comfortable with the map and he's familiar surroundings, and he's able to just, you know, get those really nice iron bomber pipes in and finding the damage that he needs to. And, you know, Sprayer now sitting on 100%. Be trying to walk into second. I'm trying to take another round here because yeah, it's just slowly falling apart bit by bit for Feila, which is like really sad to see.
They had a huge opportunity there. There was huge potential for them to really sort of convert that over advantage, but the drop there from Layla, they didn't really look confident pushing into mid. They sort of stood in choke and were just spamming each other. When you're going in, you just need to go in deep. Don't be scared of anything. Just go in and get your medic into a position where they're not going to get sniped and get everyone else doing the damage. As the Uber comes in on last now from SDCK, there is that sentry up that juggles Jackie over to the far side. Layla has gone down to Elicor. They're trying to flood the point from underneath. Yahoo and Sandburn trying to get some count time, but they can't get to it. They've taken a ton of damage. Joe takes down Clark's sentry, so there's not that to worry about. SDCK are just melting away. Only 2 people left alive after that push. One of them is a respawner. Elicor is at 2 HP. Will he survive? Manages to caber Ollie. You know what? I was watching a Sixes stream the other day, Buck, and someone said to me, why does Elicor run the caber? Well, there you go. Someone clip this and show it to him. That's why you run the caber. And he survives on 2 HP. He's ready to try and defend second here as he gets some stickies on the doorway, but Feila lose their medic again as Credu just walks in.
Yeah, Credu, like, always just holding W onto Joe and onto Layla. That's not going very well for them, but they're going to be trying to wrap around choke here and trying to find some saving frags, but, you know, Kaza going to be sort of rotating his aim back to the midpoint, picks off V-Clock's going to be trying to stare at Poker as he sits on the point, but probably won't find him. But, you know, time before on the second point, going to be sat in there. But as I say that, actually, return frag onto Sprayer from Ollie, I think, in the body shot. So yeah, gonna be finding that mid frag, but Mezzo actually going to sap the sentry, and the Spamfest picking up at the very last second, but I think probably will find it anyway, as there's a level 1 wrangled on last right now from Clark, trying to push in here. Stamburn doesn't care, he's just gonna walk in, trying to take as much space as possible, and they're actually deciding to farm them rather than get on the point, so that's interesting.
Joe's under the point, and there you go, he's gonna get some damage down on the point, and there's 3 of them alive. Joe and Middle are probably the best equipped to do it. Mello or Agi, probably not. Has to get into a position to maybe go for a stab or something. Layla runs onto the point and she's going to die to the pipes, and that is going to be a 3-0.
I'm just lost for words right now.
Yeah.
Look at the Kaza just like instantly like trumpet taunts as soon as he comes to the point. But yeah, I think you can definitely tell from the way that Feila are playing, their comms have just absolutely gone out the window. I mean, now 7 minutes, it's not like, you know, entirely undoable for them to like not come back into this. But yeah, the way they've been playing right now, it's not looking too good. And you know, Elicor has been absolutely slamming the entire game with Mezzo, like getting the stabs in the battle. I mean, Elicor's on 4 dominations, for God's sake. You know, give this man a medal.
Yeah, I mean, he has been, and you know, this mid fight is going pretty well for Feila. They have the high grounds, and actually they're killing everything. Actually, Middle comes in and manages to take down Sprayer. So not only have they won mid, Buck, they've won mid, they've kept their medic alive and killed the enemy medic. That's pretty much all you could ask for. But Clark he's off on a jog. He is on last. Not his last. No. He's on River of the enemy team. So either he's going for the biggest flank play alive, or he's confused about where he is. But I'm pretty sure he's setting up a teleport exit, so he's maybe trying to go for a cheeky play here. He's going to come face to face with a mini sentry. I'm not sure if the teleporter to river is a good idea, but I'm going to go back to where
yeah, to the actual Uber push. Gonna be coming in right now. Actually headed onto the scout and the pyro, but they're gonna get blasted off the point kind of as Viethoofd's gonna be trying to make some room, but you can't cap what you're Ubered. And they're all just gonna be sitting there. There's a lot of frags going in the favor of SDCK, and there's only 2 up right now as Joe goes down, and so does Layla, so just not really finding anything.
That made me
like
upset.
No focus at all. And
I'm
yes,
actually upset. That push when executed is unstoppable. Okay, you get your scout capping, you Uber your pyro, and he pushes everyone off the point. No, Crayon went ahead of the Uber and dies, and then V-Clocks with the remainder of the Uber decides to run like off the point and it just didn't work. And I don't really understand why they didn't have anyone else trying to capture the point with them there. But yeah, a failed push there. Big push, big ad here for Sprayer. That teleporter exit is active and it's on river, so I'm not sure if Feila are going to be aware of that, whether that's going to come into play. The teleporter entrance is now being built up somewhere else. So
Middle's found that exit now. I think he's going to be staring at it, farming it, and Clark goes through and he gets the air shot. Oh god, that's another air shot for Middle's logs right there as the scout Uber will come through. V-Clock's going to be airblasting as much as he can, but big bombing from Middle, he's really high up in the air. Just found the heavy, he's going to be going in to try and get the health back in the back. But yeah, Layla going down, and most of the players from Feila will be going down as they try and go onto the second point, and yeah, it's just not looking very well for Feila right now.
No, I mean, Uber ads for SDCK, they're in control of their enemy team's second. They just need 1 round to win. I mean, at 3-0 down, Feila basically have to push all the way back here, cap, and then win a couple more very, very fast rounds in order to even tie this up. It's very, very fast to get fast rounds, or very hard, sorry, to get fast rounds on Highlander on 5CP. There's just so many bodies that you can just slow the game down very well. SDCK don't need to push here, but I expect they will. They can seal it off here within the time limit. As Crayon goes down there, looks like Clark and Mezzo are going to go into water, maybe go play point or something, but Poker's there, as is Spamfest. That's not going to work. But the Uber is used through river. Jackie Legs does that same thing again, jumps onto the point, goes for Joe, demo down, gets flashed, should be able to get Poker as well here. Only 2 alive, it's Crayon and Layla. It's not going to be enough. Samburn walks on, and he is going to be the one to capture that point and make it 4-0. To SDCK. I have to admit, did not see it being that one-sided on the final map there, Buck. I think we both thought it would be, within a round or 2 of each other. But in the end, SDCK, who are the higher seeds in this league, Feila may be the top seeds currently in ETF2L, but SDCK are the number 1 seed in UGC. They will be taking their place in the grand final of Season 26 as the higher seed, which means they can afford to lose a best of 3 in the grand final to reset the bracket to another one, I believe, or get a map pick. They get an advantage either way. But yes, Feila eSports knocked down to the lower bracket, losing to SDCK for the 2nd time in this UGC season, and they're going to be hurting after that, surely, Buck.
Yeah, definitely. I think kind of where that went wrong was after the first mid. I think after the first mid, when they lost it in like less than 2 minutes, they were kind of just like very surprised at the way that SDCK were playing. Jackie Legs with some massive bombs, Mezzo consistently getting the frags that he needs to, Kaza performing really well, and Elikor, let's not forget, with some massive pipes, and yeah, it all kind of just culminated really into like just concessive rounds over and over again, and them holding big door, and Clark with some sentries on mids, and then big door to try and deny them coming in, like it just over and over again fatigue, and yeah, it's really well played by SDCK, and commiserations to Feila, even after winning was it upwards? Yes, upwards.
Yeah, I mean, the first map, Feila taking out Asheville 3-2, and upward one by SDCK. So, I mean, this was a reverse sweep almost. I mean, it's only a best of 3, but we can call it a reverse sweep. Yeah, SDCK coming from a map down there, just taking a look at the logs here, and there's quite a few talking points. Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying highest damage goes to Elikor, 13,500 damage. That's over 500 damage a minute. Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, we do see high damage in Highlander from demos, but that's pretty good to do that over the course of, 20, 25, 26 minutes. 33 for 5. A KAD of 9. That's pretty good, don't you think, Buck? It's pretty good.
30, say that again?
33 kills, 5 deaths.
33 kills, 5 deaths. Okay, well.
Yeah, so he gets a KAD of 9. Do you think that's good? KAD of 9.
He gets KAD of 9, and then Yahoo actually gave him 18 KAD and dying once.
25 KAD from Yahoo. 18 kills, 7 deaths. Sorry, 7 assists and 1 death. Yahoo died once in his entire game.
That was the tactical death to make sure he actually got a KD. We all know if you have 0 deaths, you don't have a KD. So you got to get that 1 death in there. But yeah, I mean, there just wasn't enough focus really, and it was really a shame seeing Joe go in and the rest of his team weren't really following up. I think Poker and Joe were kind of going in cranes sometimes as well with middle over the top, but either it wasn't really well timed, or I don't know, they were just really separated, or they were going when they had lost picks, because Mezzo and Kaz are just doing such a good job on these assassin classes to pick them off when they came in, and also Clark with the Wrangle just focusing the non-Ubid players and that sort of thing. And yeah, it just kind of is a real big shame. And top damage, obviously, Elicor doing 13,000, and Joe's still doing a decent amount of damage, like I said before, sort of trying to lead it for his team in Poker. But yeah, just sort of ultimately SDCK having the better teamwork there, and the cohesion to end up with having 2 of their combo members have barely any deaths.
Yeah, I mean, Sprayer died 7 times, and Layla died 15. So not looking good when your medic's dying twice as much. It's very difficult for you to sort of maintain anything there. And it felt like a lot of the times it was in these exchanges where they had an advantage, they'd go in and then they'd lose their med. There just wasn't that protection we saw on the first 2 maps, at least. Agi not having the best game, going 3 for 22. Very difficult trying to go for those picks, especially when you're stuck in that big door defending, and the pressure is very much on the sniper to try and go for that pick, because everyone else is a bit too valuable on the defense for you to sacrifice going into lobby and trying to make a play that way. So, I mean, lots of frags coming in for some of the players there. I mean, the difference is 167 to 111. There's 13,000 damage difference between the 2 teams. SDCK just putting out so much more damage. So, I mean, we thought it was going to be a close game, and it looks like it was the most one-sided map of the 3 that we've seen today, which really surprises me. I thought this was going to be the closest. I thought the first 2 were going to be really easy wins for each team, and I thought we'd have a really close game here. But no, SDCK proving strong, and I mean, do you think that makes them favourites now going into the final? Do you think these guys are going to be playing again against each other on Thursday? Do you feel that they're going to be taking sort of the mental advantage now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they play off like Elicor did then, and they keep that momentum going, and if they have a similar roster to what they did here, with possibly Mezzo, Mezzo will be playing the Spy in this UGC for them. With Yahoo coming in actually to kind of take over from Ascendry. Ascendry did a good job, but then Yahoo just taking that up a step. With the Pyro going 18 to 1 there, just absolutely kind of slamming on these combo classes, and their combo actually picking up in that map, which is actually kind of surprising to see, seeing a combo pick up in a 5 CP compared to a payload. I mean, they actually won the payload anyway, but doing a lot more impact in this game in particular. But yeah, I mean, one thing to actually note as well is the heal difference as well. It's because of half and Layla was dying just because of how much pressure was being put on her. So almost like a 9,000, 10,000 heal difference there. So yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate for Feila there, as they'll be kind of knocked out of that bracket now.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look at the bracket, that does mean Super Dickmann's going to the grand final. I know V's going to be very angry because he just switched it off. But we have to make him work. He's just been sat there doing nothing. We have to do all the talking. You have to push some buttons. Come on, push those buttons, producer boy. No, he does work very hard. But looking at the bracket now, SDCK into the grand final now. Like we said, they are the top seeds with all of the benefits that entails. In the lower bracket, the other game today was Kitty versus the Bureau. 2 teams that have played in Prem. Kitty currently in Prem. The Bureau former 3rd placed Prem side. The winner of that plays against the Art of Throwing. That match will be played at some point, and then the winner of that game goes into the losers bracket final, who will play against Feila. So Feila still awaiting to see who their next opponents are. So it will be either Kitty, the Bureau, or the Art of Throwing, and then they'll be playing a game. I believe it'll be on Thursday. We'll find out who wins that, and then the winner will go into the grand final and try to take down SDCK, who are currently in this season unbeaten. So somebody has to try and stop them. Feila taking a map from them for the first time, I believe. I think they're unbeaten. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But basically, SDCK in the grand final, Feila have a little bit more work to do. I've been CeeJaey, joined by Buck and Wiethoofd. It's been a pleasure as always, gents. And we do have more games for you in the future. So tomorrow we have an ETF2L game. It is between... this is where Wiethoofd says something in my ear, but he's been very...
the cogs are whirring.
Torpedo. I was going to say that, and then I thought, no, that was last week. Don't say that, because then you sound like an idiot. But Torpedo versus Envision, which will be, coming from me, an extremely good game, because either of these sides still has the potential to get into the playoffs. Torpedo, if they win, pretty much, I think either side, if they win 6-0, are guaranteed playoffs. If it gets to 4-2, things get a little bit more hairy, but both sides definitely with the potential to get into the playoffs here. Then later on in the week, we'll potentially have the lower bracket final of UGC, Feila eSports versus one of those aforementioned teams. There is also Feila eSports versus Super Dickmann's KANNONEN in ETF2L. That'll be PL Badwater only. So there'll be a match played there. And then next Monday, of course, same time, well, could be 20, could be 21 next week. We don't know. We'll leave that as a surprise.
A plethora of Highlander, CeeJaey.
Yes. Who knows? There's so much Highlander. I'm excited. You should be excited too. We'll see you next time.
Hi, old beaver! Away!